During the Fatima event, what we saw was these 3 children being told, don't go to war. And so once the war started, the Mother Mary came and gave them these apparitions that culminated on October 13th, 1917, with 90,000 people seeing what they called a disk of dull silver in the sky that blotted out the sun and then created these huge rainbow pinwheels of light throughout the sky, going through the whole sky. That was absolutely stunning when you think about the implications of what that means, because that was 30 years before 1947 when the term flying saucer was coined. And now we're seeing them in ancient illustrations. So can I prove the law of one is true? No. Do I believe the law of one is a valid source? Yes. Do I believe that these discs are coming from higher level Christian beings? Yes. And remember what happened in Fatima. All 90,000 of those people who saw this phenomenon in the sky, their clothes were dried after they'd all been soaked to the skin. 90,000 people got dry clothes. Stunning. Stunning that that happened the way that it did. So again, probably my favorite illustration of all, again, Masolino de Panacal, the miracle of the snow, illustrating an event from 325 AD where snow came down and it showed them right where to build the church. And they illustrated, again, the undeniable presence of lenticular clouds. We had some big donations come in once again, so I don't want to miss those. This is Gonil Hinchy, donated $100 Australian. And we have Beverly Adams, and she says, in your interview many years ago with Clifford Mahooty, he had a UFO model on the shelves along with various Native American pieces. You're right. Native American people have had the same visitations, similar apparitions again, very, very interesting. But again, Masolino de Panacal's image really to me is the exemplary form of showing you somebody knew something, that there was a UFO sighting, a mass UFO sighting, along with this weird snow formation that took place. So we've now seen many different Christian paintings showing us the same type of thing, where there is this relationship between Jesus, between ascension, and between extraterrestrial beings. They're all very interrelated. Archangel Gabriel showing up with the laser coming out, the Annunciation, multiple illustrations of the Annunciation. And so these are all very interrelated. And what we're saying, again, is that disclosure is going to very greatly assist the positive side. So instead of looking at this as like, oh my God, you know, there's these evil beings out there and they want to invade, and what are we going to do, and how are we going to be okay? No, there's also a very interesting religious history to this. There's a religious context to this. It goes way back in time. And those positive beings, once the free will principle is lifted, once we get the opportunity to hear from them directly, it's going to change everything. It's going to really, really change everything. It's going to transform everything that we thought we knew about ourselves and reality and what's going on in the world. And it's going to give us a whole new lease on life. They have the ability to transform everything about life on Earth in ways we don't even understand. It's phenomenal. So yes, disclosure is coming. We've been given the official announcement. The Secretary of Defense is now telling us this is going to happen, or the Secretary of War. It's powerful. So I am very excited about this. And you got to remember that once we get disclosure, our free will be decisively modified. Now, why do I say that? I say that because right now, as I showed you, we had 56% of the public believes in UFOs. They believe that there's something going on. That's still a majority number. It's so, you know, the ridicule factor is more with people who are older, that went through this psychological operation that was actually conducted by legacy forms of the government to try to make sure that nobody really studies this, that nobody believes this, that everybody thinks it's BS, which still some people do. Not everybody wants to believe it. But then you look back in history, you look at this artwork, you say, man, this is artistic disclosure, like the title. How did so many different illustrations of this come about? How do you get these woodcuts over the Scandinavian countries showing these huge UFO battles involving cigar-shaped craft, spherical-shaped craft, because we're not alone. They've always been here. Nothing has changed. This is a long-term phenomenon. So once we get disclosure, it actually modifies our free will, because now we understand, like they said in the Law of One quote, that it gives us this taste of infinity. Our free will is modified, and we develop the desire to seek. We want to seek out the truth. We want to seek out knowledge. We want to seek out perhaps spirituality, perhaps Christ. Maybe more people get turned into, that they have a spiritual path of seeking that they never had before. So it's important to remember these positive forces have always been here, and I think we can make a great case now that these celestial beings are behind the great world spiritual teachers. We see it with the Vimana. We see it in the Hindu illustrations. We see it with Jesus. We see it with all different types. In fact, when I get into my launch, I'm going to go through many different areas in which glorified beings appeared in history and talked about things in various places. It's fascinating when you do a cross-comparative analysis like Mesoamerica, Native American traditions, Australian traditions. They show up all over the place. They are definitely behind the great world spiritual teachers. And of course, as we just saw, the UFO connection to Jesus is absolutely undeniable. There is no doubt that these illustrations reveal, at least in some cases, undeniable images of UFOs. Now, some of them, okay, yeah, it's a dove, there's a round halo around it. Maybe it's not really a UFO, but so many examples that seem just spot on, precise, that somebody knew something, somebody saw something that goes beyond what we would normally assume to be real. And so when you start to understand that this has always been there, that we're never alone, and that you see now the truth is coming out, disclosure is happening, it's real, it's ongoing, it's a very, very fascinating thing. And as we get this taken care of, we're going to see okay, Lorraine says, in Springfield, Massachusetts, the image of the Madonna was on a window. Nobody put into it. It was all people blocking the traffic.